I know we talk about trusting the salesperson, working with the salesperson, developing that relationship, but I think we just have to talk about the ugly truth.
Yeah, you've been in sales.
We both, well, you're still
Well, I'm
in
still
there.
in sales.
Now, fortunately, you do not work at a place that is like this, but the honest truth is that salespeople are put under the most brutal conditions and pressure to perform. So what we're saying is that you need to be savvy. You can't 100% rely on your salesperson.
Or trust.
Yeah, I didn't really want to use that word.
It's
But
true, though. It's
yeah.
true. Because that salesperson might have the best intentions, but it's the wrong time of the month and they're behind their quota.
That's a perfectly
Wrong time of the month. That's the wrong thing to say.
No,
they're
that's funny.
they're behind their quota, and they're getting a ton of pressure from
the sales manager.
the sales manager and
Yeah.
the owner, and all of a sudden they're starting to pressure you to make a decision that you're not ready to make.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan Leverett.
I'm Phil Manzat.
And together we have over 25 years of experience working in dealerships. This is Car Buying 101, where we give you the insider's knowledge, the secrets, so that you can have a better experience next time you buy a car and hopefully save some time and money.
Yeah, because you want to avoid those costly errors that can really bite you in the butt.
And one of the costly errors is to work with a salesperson that is under too much pressure.
Yeah.
Now, in the industry, we often talk about how month end is the best time to buy a vehicle because the customer can get
Yeah.
the best deal. If the dealership, the sales department is behind quota, they are willing to
Basically give you the vehicle for next to nothing.
pretty much
Yeah.
so that they can get a couple extra vehicles down the road and hit their quota. Now, the salesperson that's working in that kind of environment is going to feel a ton of pressure. So it's a bit of a give and take. It's a bit of a 6 one way, half a dozen the other, in the sense that the month end is always the best time to buy a vehicle so that you get the best deal, but it's also potentially the best time to get lied to, screwed, and not have the best experience. So you got to be careful with this, guys. And this is why we always talk about working with a salesperson that you know, like, and trust, so that they're not under that pressure, hopefully, at month end.
And that's the thing is when you're working with somebody who's like a reputable sales professional who's built up a good book of business and they've got a reputation, they're generally not in that position.
Yeah.
But it's, and the thing is it's not even about them lying to you outright. It's more about
It's true.
the pressure that the sales manager is putting on them. And then the salesperson, like I've been in that position too, where I'm thinking, you guys shouldn't be paying for your vehicle this way.
Yes.
There's
a lot of times where if a salesperson is under immense pressure to sell another 2 or 3 vehicles before the end of the month, they will just go ahead and take whatever deal comes to them. And if you're that customer, there's a chance that salesperson's not taking you through a proper qualification process and making sure that vehicle is the right thing for you, that it meets your needs, that it meets your budget, that it is going to qualify for the right insurances and programs that you need to have on that vehicle so that you feel good as a customer driving that for the next 3, 4, 5 years.
There's 2 stories that quickly come to mind. Is one that I used to work with a kid who went out and he bought a loaded F-150 Platinum, and it was way more than he needed, and it was his first vehicle, and it had everything short of rocket launchers in it.
Yeah.
And he was so proud for about 2 or 3 months, and then the reality of how much he was having to pay for this vehicle, and his words were, "Is that vehicle owns me, I don't own it."
That's right.
And that's kind of one of the examples. And then the other was like a very well-established salesperson at one of the dealerships I worked at. He was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "What's wrong, dude?" And he's like, "I'm under a lot of pressure right now from the manager to hit quotas, and I've got a guy who's interested in a vehicle that I don't want to sell to him." And he's like, "I don't want to sell him this vehicle."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how do I get around this without getting in trouble?
Yeah.
You know?
There's been a lot of times throughout my career that I know a vehicle's not right for someone and I just am not willing to sell it. But I got to tell you, man, when it gets down to the end of the month, because most salespeople work off commission.
Yeah.
So we're we're trying to get that last deal. We're trying to hit a bonus. We're trying to make sure that we can cover our needs and our budget. And that vehicle's not right for that person, but I gotta sell one or two more.
It's not even just that.
I'm probably gonna sell it. And that's an unfortunate reality of the car business. And is also why you need to know that month end is both good and bad.
Yeah, but even, the thing is, I've never worked in an industry where I've seen so many people get fired.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. It's cutthroat,
it's
and
very
we're talking
yeah.
about it. We're not talking about you're going to get in a little bit of trouble. It's like if you don't hit a lot of these guys, if they don't hit their quotas, they are gone.
I haven't worked for this group, but I had a friend of mine, a coworker, that left a dealership and went to a different dealership group.
Yeah.
And the rule in that group, because they own like 50 stores across the country.
We won't say their name, but it's a very large chain.
Huge. They would, at any of those stores,
Yeah.
they own like 50. At any of those stores, they would fire the bottom salesperson every month.
Every month.
So they would have an average of about 10 salespeople working on the dealership floor, the sales floor, and every month they would fire the bottom person. And it was designed to create kind of fear and panic, as well as a bit of motivation, sure, because you never want to be that bottom person.
Well, no.
But the question then remains, is the salespeople working at a store like that doing the best thing for their customers, or are they just trying to make sure they don't get fired?
They can't afford to. That's the problem. And that's what I mean is like, you just have to understand that it's like, if you put yourself in their position and imagine what it's like, and now we're not saying that this is right. These are the things we don't like about the industry.
Yeah.
This is the whole reason why we wrote the book. This is the whole reason why we do this channel, is because we get that it can happen, and we don't want it happening to you.
There's right ways to buy a vehicle and there's wrong ways, and sometimes the salesperson is the problem. Now, that means that you as a customer need to be savvy. That means that you as a customer need to do your due diligence. That means you as a customer need to do your research. That means you as a customer need to make sure that before you sign on the dotted line, you get a full breakdown of everything that you're paying for. Go watch the last 2 or 3 videos that we've just done talking about negotiating on the all-in price before you go to payments, talking about how the dealership is going to hide fees and other things so that you end up paying more for a vehicle and paying for things that you maybe don't need.
Yeah.
And this often happens at month end when dealerships and salespeople are scrambling to get that last 1, 2, or 3 deals so that they can hit their quota, hit their bonus, make their commission, and provide a life for their family.
Yeah.
It's both right and wrong, because those salespeople are humans. We're just 2 guys sitting in front of you trying to share with you the insider's knowledge, but we're also just 2 guys that when we've worked in dealerships, we're just trying to make a living for us and our family. And sometimes there's a lot of pressure in car dealerships.
Well, and that's the thing that I was going to kind of make a point about, is it's not even the salesperson. It's unfortunately, it's the industry. Yeah. It's just really unfortunately that this is the way the industry is.
And part of what the industry has taught customers is that one of the best times to buy a vehicle is
at the month end.
At the end of the month.
Yeah.
And that's exactly when salespeople and dealerships are trying to hit quotas and sometimes making bad decisions. So there's, again, guys, there's a give and take there. Would I recommend that you go buy a vehicle at month end? Yeah, it's one of the best times to get the best deal. But also, I would recommend working with a sales professional that you know, like, and trust, that's not panicking at month end to make ends meet, that is working for you, that is trustworthy, that is respectable, that is honest. That's what you want to do. The number one step, the number one hint, the number one thing that we can tell you to have a great experience next time you buy your vehicle is choose your salesperson and make sure that you do a good job doing some research on them as well as the vehicle.
Yeah. So like, share, and subscribe, and follow us for more.
We'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care.